The story of Lionel Messi, a boy with a ball and a dream. On June 24, 1987, in the modest city of Rosario, Argentina, a boy was born who would one day change the history of football forever. His name, Lionel Andres Messi. Messi's family was humble. His father, Jorge Messi, worked in a steel factory, while his mother, Celia, helped in a workshop. They were not wealthy, but the family was tightly bound by love, sacrifice, and a strong belief in hard work. In that small home, no one could have imagined that the little boy running barefoot in the streets would one day be called the greatest of all time. From the age of 5, Messi had already shown a deep love for football. His very first team was a small local club called Grandoli, where his father coached him. The ball seemed to stick to his feet, as if it belonged there. Older kids twice his size tried to take the ball away, but Messi would dribble past them like a magician. Soon, he joined Newell's Old Boys, one of Rosario's bigger clubs. At just 7 years old, Messi was already scoring an unbelievable number of goals. His teammates would later say, "Whenever Messi had the ball, we knew something special was about to happen. He was short, thin, and quiet, but the football spoke for him." Yet, behind the joy of the game, there was a hidden battle. Messi suffered from a rare medical condition known as growth hormone deficiency (GHD). While other children grew taller and stronger, Messi's body stayed small and fragile. By the age of 11, doctors warned that without expensive treatment, he would never be able to grow properly, and playing professional football would be nearly impossible. The treatment cost about $1,000 a month, far beyond what his family could afford. His father worked extra hours. His relatives tried to help, but it wasn't enough. Imagine the pain of a boy who could dribble past anyone but was being stopped by his own body. Messi later admitted, "I just wanted to play football. I didn't care about anything else, but there were nights I cried, thinking maybe my dream would end before it even started." At this stage, destiny intervened. Messi's talent had already started attracting attention beyond Rosario. Clubs in Argentina noticed him, but none were ready to take responsibility for his costly medical treatment. Then came Barcelona. In the year 2000, Messi and his father traveled to Spain for a trial with FC Barcelona. The scouts were unsure at first. The boy looked so small, fragile, almost too weak for football. But then he touched the ball. Within minutes, everyone on the pitch knew this was no ordinary child. His balance, speed, and dribbling were unlike anything they had ever seen. Barcelona's sporting director at the time, Carlos Rexach, was so impressed that he decided not to waste a single second. Without proper papers around, he took a paper napkin from the table and wrote a contract right there, promising that Barcelona would take care of Messi's treatment and education. That napkin became the most famous contract in football history. For the Messi family, this was more than just a contract. It was a lifeline. It was hope. It was the beginning of a journey that would take their little boy from the streets of Rosario to the biggest stadiums in the world. Still, leaving Argentina was not easy. Messi had to leave behind his family, friends, and everything familiar. At just 13 years old, he moved to Spain with only his father by his side. A shy, small boy stepping into a foreign country, carrying the weight of his entire family's dreams on his shoulders. This was the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with struggles, sacrifices, and the fight to prove himself at Barcelona's academy, La Masia. Struggles, sacrifices, and the fight to belong. In the year 2000, a 13-year-old Lionel Messi stepped off the plane in Barcelona, Spain. He was small, shy, and quiet, so quiet that people sometimes mistook him for being unfriendly. But inside, he was just a boy overwhelmed by the reality of leaving everything behind in Rosario, Argentina. Imagine the situation. A teenager who barely spoke Spanish the way Catalans did, away from his mother and siblings, living in a foreign city with only his father. His family had divided themselves. his father traveled with him to Spain, while his mother stayed back with his brothers and sister. The Messi family had taken a risk, placing all their hope on the shoulders of this fragile-looking boy. La Masia, the proving ground. Messi entered Barcelona's world-famous academy, La Masia. This was no ordinary place. Some of the most talented kids in the world trained there, each dreaming of wearing Barcelona's famous blue and red shirt. They were bigger, stronger, louder, and more confident than Messi. Many of them looked at him and thought, he's too small. He'll never make it. Training was tough. Messi had to wake up early, attend school, and then spend hours on the training pitch. He was far from his mother's home-cooked meals, far from his childhood friends, far from his comfort zone. Nights in his dorm room were the hardest. Sometimes he would cry, missing his mother and siblings. Loneliness became his toughest opponent. But when Messi stepped on the field, everything changed. The ball was his best friend, his only escape from pain and homesickness. Coaches quickly noticed that even though his body was small, his talent was massive. He dribbled past players twice his size with ease. His low center of gravity allowed him to change direction like lightning. His left foot was magical, accurate, powerful, and creative all at once. The treatment and sacrifices. Meanwhile, Barcelona had begun his growth hormone treatment. Every night, Messi had to inject hormones into his legs to stimulate growth. It was painful, both physically and emotionally. Most kids his age were enjoying childhood, while Messi was injecting needles into his body, carrying the fear of whether it would work or not. His father, Jorge, sacrificed everything, taking any small job he could while supporting his son. His mother, Celia, often called from Argentina, telling him, "Be strong, Leo. One day you'll be the best in the world." These words kept him going, earning respect. At La Masia, Messi rarely spoke. His shyness made him a mystery to many. Some teammates thought he was arrogant because he hardly talked, but then they saw him play. In practice matches, Messi would pick up the ball, dribble past 5 or 6 players, and score. Suddenly, silence turned into respect. Stories began spreading around the academy. There's this little kid from Argentina who dribbles like Maradona. The coaches saw a spark of greatness. They knew they had something special in their hands, the first chance. By the time Messi was 14, his skills were impossible to ignore. He dominated youth matches, scoring unbelievable goals. Coaches at Barcelona began fast-tracking him through the ranks. While other kids his age were still playing junior games, Messi was being tested against older, stronger players, and yet he still shined. But life wasn't all smooth. There were constant doubts about his size and whether his body could survive professional football. Some inside the club feared they were wasting resources on him. Others pushed hard to protect him, believing he was the future, the support system. One of Messi's greatest strengths was the support he received from his family. Even while far away, his mother reminded him daily that he was destined for greatness. His grandmother, Celia, had always been his biggest supporter in Argentina. She used to take him to matches as a child, telling everyone, "This boy will be a star." Sadly, she passed away when Messi was still very young, but he never forgot her belief in him. Every time he scored a goal, he would look up to the sky and point upwards, a tribute to his beloved grandmother. The breakthrough moment. In 2003, something extraordinary happened. Messi, still a teenager, was invited to play in a friendly match for Barcelona's senior team against Porto. He was just 16 years old, wearing a shirt far too big for his small frame. But when he touched the ball, jaws dropped. The senior players couldn't believe the confidence and skill of this boy. That night, many inside Barcelona realized, this kid is different. He is not just talented, he is destined. From then on, Messi's rise became unstoppable. He began training with the senior team more often, gaining experience and showing glimpses of his magic. The same boy who once cried alone in his room, missing his family, was now standing shoulder to shoulder with football legends. The inner fire. But make no mistake, it wasn't easy. Messi had to fight loneliness, physical pain from injections, and doubts from people who thought he was too weak. But every time life pushed him down, football lifted him up. He didn't complain, didn't talk much. He just let his football do the talking. In his own words, Messi later said, "I never thought about being the best. I just wanted to play. Football gave me everything. When I had the ball, I was happy." By the end of his teenage years, Lionel Messi was no longer just a boy from Rosario. He was Barcelona's greatest hope, a diamond rising out of hardship, loneliness, and endless sacrifice. The world had started to whisper his name. But soon, the whispers would turn into roars because the boy was about to become a man, and that man would conquer football. The debut of a legend. By the early 2000s, Messi was no longer just another La Masia kid. He was different. Every coach knew it. Every teammate felt it. His speed, his balance, his magical left foot, everything screamed that this boy was special. But talent alone wasn't enough. He needed a chance to prove himself on the biggest stage. That chance finally came in 2004 when Messi was just 17 years old. Barcelona's first team was stacked with legends, Ronaldinho, Xavi, Deco, Carles Puyol, players who were already heroes to millions. And yet, inside the club, whispers were growing louder. There's a kid from the academy who could be the future of Barcelona. The first official debut. On October 16, 2004, Barcelona played against Espanyol. It was a tense match. With just a few minutes left, coach Frank Rijkaard decided to take a risk. He called the shy Argentine teenager from the bench. Lionel Messi stepped onto the pitch, wearing the number 30 shirt. He didn't score, he didn't assist, but something happened that day the world saw. A glimpse of magic, his quick touches, fearless runs, and confidence against grown men twice his size caught everyone's eye. Commentators said, "Remember this name, Messi. You'll hear it again." The first goal, the world didn't have to wait long. On May 1, 2005, against Albacete, Messi scored his very first goal for Barcelona's senior team. It was classic Messi, running into space, receiving a pass from Ronaldinho, and delicately lobbing the ball over the goalkeeper. At just 17 years, 10 months, and 7 days, he became the youngest player to ever score for Barcelona. The stadium erupted. Ronaldinho lifted Messi onto his shoulders, smiling as if to say, "This kid will carry us into the future." That moment became symbolic. The passing of the torch, the Ronaldinho bond. Ronaldinho, the magician of football, became Messi's mentor. He guided him, protected him, and treated him like a younger brother. Ronaldinho once said, "The whole world will talk about Messi. He will be even better than me." And he was right. But back then, Messi was just a kid soaking up everything from the Brazilian superstar. Together, they created joy on the pitch. Ronaldinho's samba magic combined with Messi's sharp dribbling. Camp Nou was falling in love with their little Argentine wonder, the rise of a star. The following season showed that Messi was not just a one-time wonder. He scored, he dribbled, he destroyed defenses. But what impressed most was his courage. Despite his small size, Messi never backed down from challenges. Defenders kicked him, pushed him, pulled him, but he always got up, dusted himself off, and kept going. By 2006, he was part of Barcelona's squad that won the Champions League. Although he missed the final due to injury, his contributions in earlier rounds were vital. At just 18, he was already a European champion. The world takes notice. In 2007, Messi truly announced himself to the world. Against Getafe, he scored a goal so incredible that people compared it to Diego Maradona's legendary goal of the century in 1986. Starting from his own half, Messi dribbled past 5 defenders and the goalkeeper before slotting the ball in. The similarity to Maradona's goal was shocking. Same run, same dribbles, same finish. The world gasped, newspapers screamed, "The new Maradona is here!" But Messi wasn't just another Maradona. He was writing his own story. That same year, Messi scored a stunning hat-trick in El Clasico against Real Madrid. At just 19 years old, he single-handedly carried Barcelona to a 3-3 draw, scoring all 3 goals. It was the night when even Madrid fans had to applaud him. The struggles, but greatness doesn't come without pain. Messi suffered several injuries during his early years. Hamstring problems constantly sidelined him, and some doubters said, maybe his body can't handle professional football. But Messi never gave up. He trained harder, grew stronger, and learned to manage his body. Every injury made him hungrier. Every setback made him more determined. Messi once said, "The day you think there's no room for improvement is the day you think there's no room for improvement is the day you stop being great." The transformation. By 2008, Messi was no longer a skinny boy. The medical treatments, intense training, and sheer willpower had transformed him into a stronger athlete. He was ready to take the throne at Barcelona. But there was one missing piece, the arrival of a coach who would build a dynasty around him, Pep Guardiola. The rise of a dynasty 2008 to 2012. By the summer of 2008, Barcelona was at a crossroads. The team had stars, but something was missing. Results were inconsistent, and the magic was fading. That's when the club made a bold decision: appoint Pep Guardiola, a young and relatively inexperienced coach, to lead the first team. For many, this was a gamble. But for Lionel Messi, it was the beginning of a transformation that would define his career. Guardiola wasn't just a coach, he was a visionary. He believed in possession football, in discipline, in pressing high, up the pitch, and in building everything around one player, Messi. The Olympic gold minus 2008. Before Guardiola's project truly began, Messi faced a decision. The Beijing Olympics were happening, and Argentina wanted him to play. Barcelona was hesitant. They needed him for the season, but Messi's heart was with his country. With Guardiola's blessing, he traveled to China. There, Messi shined. He dribbled past defenders with ease, provided magical assists, and helped Argentina win the Olympic gold medal. It wasn't the World Cup, but for Messi, it was a dream fulfilled. He returned to Barcelona with confidence, ready to conquer Europe. Guardiola's masterstroke, the false nine. When Messi returned, Guardiola made a decision that would change football forever. He moved Messi into a new position, the false nine. Instead of playing as a winger, Messi now played in the center of attack, but not as a traditional striker. He would drop deep into midfield, pulling defenders out of position, and then explode forward with his dribbles and finishing. This confused opponents completely. Defenders didn't know whether to follow Messi into midfield or stay back. If they followed him, Barcelona's wingers, Henry and Ito, would exploit the space. If they stayed back, Messi had freedom to run at them. It was genius, it was revolutionary, and it unleashed the full power of Lionel Messi. The treble 2008-09 season. Messi's first full season under Guardiola was nothing short of historic. Barcelona played breathtaking football, short passes, movement, pressing, the famous tiki-taka style. And at the heart of it all was Messi, scoring goals, assisting, and dazzling fans. That season, Barcelona won La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the Champions League, the first treble in the club's history. In the Champions League final against Manchester United, Messi scored the second goal with a rare header, jumping above Rio Ferdinand, one of the strongest defenders in the world. Guardiola later joked, "Messi is short, but that night he became the tallest man in Rome." Barcelona were champions of Europe, and Messi was now the undisputed star. The Ballon d'Or era begins. In 2009, Messi won his first Ballon d'Or, awarded to the best player in the world. He had come a long way from a little boy injecting hormones in his legs to standing on top of the football world at just 22 years old. But this was only the beginning. 2010, the pain of the World Cup. While Messi was dominating at Barcelona, the World Cup in South Africa was a heartbreak. Playing for Argentina under coach Diego Maradona, expectations were sky high. But Argentina struggled, and in the quarterfinal, they were destroyed 4-0. By Germany, Messi didn't score a single goal in the tournament. Critics said, he only plays well at Barcelona. The world questioned whether he could ever lead his country the same way he led his club. For Messi, it was a deep wound, but also a fire that pushed him to come back stronger. 2011, the perfect Barcelona. The following season, Guardiola's team reached its peak. With Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta forming the core, Barcelona played what many call the greatest football in history. They passed opponents to death, suffocating them with possession, and when Messi touched the ball, magic happened. The highlight came in the 2011 Champions League final at Wembley, once again against Manchester United. Messi scored a stunning long-range goal, weaving through defenders before smashing the ball past Edwin van der Sar. Sir Alex Ferguson, United's legendary manager, admitted, "We were beaten by the best team I have ever faced." Barcelona were crowned kings of Europe once again, and Messi won the Ballon d'Or for the second time. Messi versus Ronaldo, the rivalry of a generation. At the same time, another superstar was rising, Cristiano Ronaldo, playing for Real Madrid. Their rivalry became the defining narrative of football for the next decade. Ronaldo was tall, powerful, explosive. Messi was small, quick, and magical. Their styles were different, but their hunger for greatness was the same. Every El Clasico became a battlefield. Millions around the world tuned in to watch Messi versus Ronaldo, Barcelona versus Real Madrid. It wasn't just a game, it was a war for supremacy. In 2011, Messi humiliated Real Madrid in the Champions League semifinal, dribbling past defenders and scoring one of the greatest goals of his career at the Santiago Bernabeu. Even Madrid fans were forced to respect his genius. 2012, the record-breaking year. Then came 2012, the year Messi entered the history books. He scored an unimaginable 91 goals in a single calendar year, breaking Gerd Muller's long-standing record. Nobody had ever seen anything like it. Hat-tricks, free kicks, dribbles, chips, Messi scored in every way possible. That year, he won his fourth consecutive Ballon d'Or, becoming the first player in history to achieve such dominance. He wasn't just the best in the world. He was redefining what best even meant. The Guardiola farewell. But by the end of 2012, Guardiola decided to step down as Barcelona's coach. His cycle had ended, and he needed rest. For Messi, it was emotional. Guardiola was more than just a coach. He was the man who believed in him, who built a team around him, who made him the centerpiece of football's greatest dynasty. Messi later said, "Guardiola made me see football differently. He changed my career." By the end of 2012, Messi had gone from a promising talent to a four-time Ballon d'Or winner, the face of Barcelona's golden era, and the greatest player of his generation. He had achieved everything at club level. But one question remained: could he bring the same glory to Argentina? The answer to that question would shape the next decade of his career. The battles with injuries, Argentina struggles, and the rise of Ronaldo rivalry 2013 to 2016. Pain, pressure, and the weight of a nation 2013 to 2016. By 2013, Lionel Messi was already a legend at Barcelona. For Ballon d'Ors, Champions League trophies, countless records, he had done everything at the club level. But life, as always, wasn't about to let him walk an easy path. The next 4 years of Messi's life would test not just his football, but his heart, his spirit, and his resilience. 2013, the body begins to break. After the glorious 2012 season, Messi's body began to feel the strain of carrying Barcelona on his shoulders. In the 2012-13 season, he suffered repeated hamstring injuries. Every time he returned, defenders hacked at him, and his legs gave way under the endless pressure. Barcelona still won La Liga that season, but they were brutally defeated in the Champions League semifinals by Bayern Munich, 7-0 on aggregate. Messi was injured during the tie, unable to run, unable to fight at his best. For the first time in years, people whispered, maybe Messi's era is ending. But Messi was not the type to give up. 2014, the World Cup dream. If there was one thing Messi had always been accused of, it was this: he shines for Barcelona, but not for Argentina. Critics said he lacked passion for his country, that he would never be like Diego Maradona, who carried Argentina to the 1986 World Cup. The 2014 World Cup in Brazil was Messi's chance to silence them all. Argentina started slowly, but Messi lit up the group stage. Against Bosnia, he scored a stunning goal, cutting inside from the right and curling it into the net. Against Iran, in the final minutes, he struck a brilliant winner. From outside the box, against Nigeria, he scored twice, showing his magical left foot. The little boy from Rosario was now carrying an entire nation on his back. His face was everywhere: billboards, newspapers, TV screens. In Argentina, children prayed with his name on their lips. Argentina battled through the knockouts, defeating Switzerland, Belgium, and then the Netherlands in a penalty shootout. Messi wasn't always scoring, but he was always there, assisting, creating, inspiring. And then came the final. The final, Argentina versus Germany, on July 13, 2014. At the Maracana Stadium in Rio de Janeiro, Messi stood on the pitch with destiny before him. Argentina versus Germany, a repeat of the painful 2010 quarterfinal defeat. The game was tense. Argentina had chances. Higuain missed a golden one. Palacio wasted another. Messi himself had a chance in the second half, curling the ball just wide. Then, in extra time, disaster struck. Mario Götze, the German substitute, scored a heartbreaking goal in the 113th minute. Argentina collapsed. Germany lifted the trophy. Messi stood on the pitch, devastated. He had been named the best player of the tournament, but when he received the golden ball, he didn't smile. He stared blankly, holding the award as if it were a curse, not a prize. He wanted the World Cup, not personal glory. For Argentina, it was heartbreak. For Messi, it was the wound that would haunt him for years. 2015, redemption with Barcelona, pain with Argentina. Messi returned to Barcelona with fire in his eyes, with Luis Suarez and Neymar. He formed the legendary attacking trio MSN. Together, they destroyed defenses, scoring goals for fun. Barcelona won the treble again in 2015 La Liga, Copa del Rey, and Champions League. In the Copa final against Athletic Bilbao, Messi scored one of his greatest goals ever, dribbling from the halfway line past four defenders before smashing the ball into the net. Commentators screamed, "This is Messi! This is genius!" In the Champions League final against Juventus, Messi assisted and led Barcelona to another European crown. He won his fifth Ballon d'Or, silencing anyone who doubted his dominance, but once again, Argentina broke his heart. Copa America 2015 in Chile, Argentina reached the Copa America final against the hosts. Messi was brilliant throughout the tournament, but in the final, Chile parked the bus. Defending with everything, the match went to penalties. Argentina missed, Chile won. Messi stood alone on the pitch, staring at the ground. Another final, another heartbreak. 2016, the lowest point. If 2015 was painful, 2016 was torture. The Copa America Centenario in the United States was supposed to be redemption. Argentina reached the final again, once more against Chile. Messi was unstoppable in the tournament. He scored free kicks, created goals, and became Argentina's all-time top scorer. Everyone believed this was his time, but in the final, fate repeated itself. After a 0-0 draw, the match went to penalties. Messi stepped up first. The world watched, the weight of an entire nation on his shoulders. He ran forward and missed. The ball flew over the bar. Argentina lost again. Chile celebrated again. Messi cried uncontrollably. Cameras caught him sitting on the bench, head buried in his hands. After the match, he spoke words that shocked the world. I tried so hard, but it hurts too much. The national team is over for me. Messi retired from international football that night. The world reacts. His retirement broke hearts everywhere. Fans in Argentina wept. Politicians begged him to return. Children held up posters. Messi, don't leave us. Even rivals showed respect. Ronaldo said Messi has taken a very tough decision, but he will be back. The world needs him. The pressure, the criticism, the constant failures with Argentina, it had all become too much. Messi felt he had let his country down, but deep inside, the fire was still alive. The rivalry with Ronaldo reaches its peak. While Messi was battling pain with Argentina, his rivalry with Ronaldo exploded at club level. Between 2013 to 2016, the two traded Ballon d'Ors, records, and goals. Ronaldo won the Champions League with Real Madrid in 2014 and 2016, while Messi continued to dominate La Liga with Barcelona. Every El Clasico became a global event, watched by hundreds of millions. Messi scored a last-minute winner in the Bernabeu in 2017, kissing his shirt in front of Madrid fans. But the build-up to that iconic moment was forged during this dark 2013-16 era when both men pushed each other beyond human limits. By 2016, Messi had won everything with Barcelona, but nothing with Argentina. He had retired from international football, broken by defeats, haunted by finals, and crushed under the weight of expectation. But as the saying goes, legends are not defined by how many times they fall. They are defined by how many times they rise again. The return, more heartbreak, and the road to redemption 2016 to 2019. The Broken King Summer 2016. Lionel Messi was 29 years old. He had just missed a penalty in the Copa America final against Chile. For Argentina, it was the third final loss in 3 years: 2014 World Cup, 2015 Copa, 2016 Copa. That night in New Jersey, Messi sat on the bench, eyes red with tears, hands covering his face. Cameras zoomed in on the unthinkable, Messi, the best player in the world, saying, "For me, the national team is over. I've tried everything. It just doesn't work." The world was stunned. The king of football had abdicated his throne. The world reacts to Messi's retirement. The backlash was immediate. In Rosario, his hometown, thousands of fans gathered in the streets begging him to return. Children held signs reading, "Don't leave, Leo." In Buenos Aires, murals appeared overnight with his face painted like a saint. Even Argentina's president, Mauricio Macri, called Messi and begged him to wreck. But the pain was real. Messi wasn't just tired of losing. He was tired of the insults. For years, Argentine media had attacked him. He doesn't sing the anthem. He only cares about Barcelona. He will never be Maradona. For a man who gave everything, it was unbearable. Messi returns 2016. Weeks passed, then something changed. His teammates Mascherano, Agüero, Di Maria all begged him to come back. Children recorded videos saying, "Please, Messi, we need you." Messi realized This was bigger than him. He wasn't just playing football. He was carrying the dreams of millions. In August 2016, Messi announced, "I love Argentina too much to leave it like this. I will return." The broken king had returned. 2016 to 2017, Barcelona's roller coaster and another Argentina struggle. At Barcelona, Messi continued his magic. With Luis Suarez and Neymar, the MSN trio destroyed defenses. They won Copa del Rey and La Liga battles, but the Champions League dream slipped most painfully in 2017 when Barcelona staged the miracle comeback against PSG 6-1, only to be humiliated by Juventus in the next round. For Messi, club success was no longer enough. Everyone asked the same question, but what about Argentina? 2018 World Cup qualifiers, the savior, Argentina was in deep trouble. They were at risk of missing the 2018 World Cup in Russia. With just one game left, they needed victory against Ecuador away in the mountains at high altitude. October 10, 2017, the world watched. Argentina went behind early, 1-0 down, silence, fear, panic. If Argentina lost, they would miss the World Cup for the first time in decades. Then Messi woke up. He equalized with a thunderous strike. Minutes later, he dribbled through defenders and scored again. In the second half, he completed his hat-trick, sealing Argentina's place in the World Cup. The commentators screamed, "Messi has saved Argentina." Messi is from another planet. For the millionth time, Messi had carried a broken team on his shoulders. Point to a 1-8 World Cup, Russia nightmare. But when the World Cup came, Argentina was in chaos. Poor coaching, politics in the federation, unbalanced squads, it was a mess. In the group stage, Argentina struggled. Drew 1-1 with Iceland. Messi missed a penalty, lost 3-0 to Croatia. Barely beat Nigeria 2-1 thanks to Messi's stunning opening goal. Argentina stumbled into the knockouts, where they faced France. The match was breathtaking. Di Maria scored a screamer. Mercado gave Argentina the lead, but then Mbappé, just 19 years old, destroyed Argentina's defense with blistering pace. France won 4-3. Argentina was out. Messi walked off the pitch, head down. Another World Cup dream shattered. The criticism returned. He will never be a World Cup winner. He's not Maradona. 2019 Copa America, another blow. Messi, now 32, came to Brazil for the 2019 Copa America. Argentina was rebuilding with young players like Lautaro Martinez, but they weren't ready. Argentina lost to Colombia, scraped past Qatar, and beat Venezuela. In the semifinals, they faced Brazil. The match was controversial. Argentina lost to 2-0, but Messi exploded with anger afterward. "The referees were against us. CONMEBOL is corrupt." It was shocking. A Messi, usually calm and quiet, openly attacking the system. He was fined, suspended, and heavily criticized. Argentina finished third after beating Chile, but Messi refused to celebrate. He wanted only one thing, a trophy. Messi versus Ronaldo rivalry peaks again. During this time, Cristiano Ronaldo left Real Madrid for Juventus in 2018. Many thought their rivalry would cool, but the truth is, their story. Messi kept scoring hat-tricks in La Liga. Ronaldo kept winning in Europe with Juventus and Portugal. Fans debated endlessly, Messi or Ronaldo, who is the GOAT? Both men respected each other deeply, but the world treated them like eternal enemies.